Hi, welcome to Kindred Spirit Readings. Let's begin, Aries. So, I'm going to start with a couple things. I'm going to start with the holiday. It's unexpected, but there was something that was planned around this, okay? I'm also going to talk about an accident, and I'll get more into that, obviously, and money that somebody owes you in relation to this accident, and then I want to talk about your money in general. Because there's a lot to learn from this, especially with you now going through a transformation, which I think is going to be really incredible for you. You know, there's so much good coming out of this. It's um, one of those moments where you will be surprised at what more is yet to come. Now going back to the very beginning about this holidays, something tells me that you didn't plan for this holiday, but the planning begins when unexpectedly there's a trip and you're good. You're just going regardless. There's no thought process. That's all out the window. You know, you're just excited to be in the moment, and it will require you to fly. So it is by plane, and you're going away for X amount of days. I want to say days. I mean, it could be longer, but the first few days are going to be the most. That there's something that stands out about this holiday. You're going to have too much fun, so there is definitely something to look forward to. Of course, the next thing I want to talk about is the accident that I see in your cup. There is something about this where, I mean, I'm seeing it as a minor accident, not major. And somebody, you could be dealing with a really stubborn person throughout this ordeal. Somebody's ran a stop sign and not willing to be held accountable for their actions, at least not to the extent that you believe they should be. And to be quite honest, from what I can see in your cup, that this other person, you know, really the whole thing, there's a bit of pain involved. There is not as much injury as much as there is pain. So, however that sort of comes across for you, but it is what the cup is presenting to me. Be careful when you're on the road, is the message that is coming through. I think there was a warning such as this in last week's cup. I think I can't remember, but there is definitely something about being extra careful on the road. There's just so much craziness going on, and you're in such a rush these days as well because you've got a lot on your plate. So try not to miss out on looking around, being aware of your surroundings. Again, very important. And the money that's involved in relation to this accident, the other person that has caused this accident to happen is almost trying to negotiate or bargain, or there's something ridiculous around this where it's their attitude. They're saying that they'll do whatever they can to provide any kind of assistance or help along the way, but when it gets to that point, they're not too pleased with what the reality is, and that they need to take responsibility. They're just not showing much of that at all. You may end up having to chase this person for money or remind them at which point you may even decide, okay, well, if this is the kind of person I'm dealing with, it might take a little more than, just a reminder, and you may decide to take legal action. I'm not seeing this. I'm not seeing that as yet because I'm only reading for the week ahead. So just be mindful of that, who you're dealing with, if that is the case for you. And then just quickly, I was going to do relationships as well, but this seems to be never ending. I do want to cover your money. You are going through, as I said, a transformation. You are going to receive lots of money, loads of money. I cannot stress that enough. There is definitely change happening within your environment. You might be feeling overworked. You might notice there's a change in your attitude. You might be a little more grumpy than usual, but that's okay. It will be okay. You'll sort of learn to understand what it is that's creating any blockages, or if you're feeling a little, if your schedule's tighter than usual, what can you do? What can you do to relieve any of this stress? You could sleep a little more. If you drink alcohol, maybe you could drink a little less alcohol, because you've got these responsibilities and you really have got to start prioritizing. Honestly, it's all about that. If you really want to make this work, and it can work with this transformation coming through, the more you focus, the less stress, and just continue seeing that end point, that making that money comes through for you. It all works out really well for you. I'm seeing that there is so much success that is following you right now, especially when it comes to your money. As I said, cannot stress this enough, but there is, by the end of the year, and I know I'm only reading for the week ahead, but by the end of the year, there is going to be so much celebrating, so much to celebrate. And this week, just stick to, as I said, stick to prioritizing your week ahead. Thank you, Aries.